Hello there, my name is Rachel. The first time you see my channel, you review cartoon series, anime series. So what's up in Computer Random? And today we're going to talk about The Great North from Fox. Now I have a chance to actually finish this series because it took me a little while because I was doing so many things. And the show also ended about a week or two ago, so I finally got the chance. And this is basically my final thoughts about the whole series. And you have to say, I enjoy it, but I do understand what people sort of complain about the series, like how the intro was not that good. Some of the comedic moments is sort of off, and the show a little bit too wholesome or a little bit too slow. But at the same time, I have to say, what you expect? It's season 1. Season 1 never means to be a perfect season. Season 1 usually is, this is what we think how the show should be, but still has some problems. One of the great example is like The Last Avatar. That's probably the best example. Is the series starting really slow. I mean, you could say whatever about the series, but the book 1, season 1 of Last Avatar is kind of slow. It's kind of hard to get into because really nothing really happens that major. It just takes time to build to the finale to really kick up the series. But that's one to give you an idea what I mean. Season 1 are usually not the best, but beside that little complaint, I have to say I really enjoyed the series because it's one of those that he knows how to do wholesome. They just need to show you what you need this wholesome to understand how the family sort of works. And I have to say the family works sort of unusual. In fact, the whole family, I have to say, they're sort of dorkable in a way. They're all dorks, but you like them because it's just sort of kind of awkward, strange. It's sort of the things they have to do to talk to each other. But I love it that I also point out they're not losers or weirdos. That's how the whole family, not their family, but every other family has their sort of black sheep or oddballs in the family. You just sort of work around with them, but also sort of positive, wholesome way that you just kind of respect. I mean, that's pretty good because usually shows trying to be like South Park, or better yet, I think a better example is like The Simpsons. That had to be all kind of destructive, or Family Guy, but the Great North, I mean, is basically telling you, yeah, you have destructive families, but you also have kind of chillax family that are kind of oddballs, but you like them because they care about each other. They actually go an extra mile to understand their siblings, their father, their mothers, their wives, and husbands. That's when this show is sort of good because they actually try to understand each other, even they have very different opinions, or even they can never click right in the right moments. They actually try the next step. That's why they make them show kind of interesting. Of course, this can easily be boring for many people. That's completely understandable because not everyone like wholesome. That's completely understandable, but this show sort of compensates with that because the show also kind of experiments how you live the Great North, the survival tactics. Like usually you get lost in the snow with a bad weather kicks in. Like there actually is an episode they focus on. They leave to one place, like the house, to the shed. There are very few steps to get to the shed, but with the storm kicks in, you get easily lost, and they show you how easily you get lost. Other episodes focus on the kind of the gambling, not the gambling, the sort of payment you give to other people instead of paying cash. Some people just trade things, and you see them trading off so many people to get the thing they actually want. They also have to get out of the town to get some food supplies or not food supplies. How everybody knows each other, but sometimes that's sort of a double-edged sword because you don't want to talk to them. You have no choice, and you see why I mean this show is sort of kind of different. Of course, it feels like Bob Burgers, but Bob Burgers is his own thing. Bob Burgers, especially a ripoff of The Simpsons, but done a little bit differently. It's sort of wholesome and slow and sweet. The Great North focuses on more survival. We could be a family because we kind of need to stick together on the Great North because you can easily get lost, kill, or get hungry forever and die of hunger if you have no idea what to do in the Great North. That's why this show is sort of multiply interesting because it can tackle it so many different ways. I think one of the best example is the father figure Beef, that he basically a outdoorsman, lived, born in the Great North, but at the same time he's sort of shy, reserved, he kind of to connect to people, but at the same time, the guy is very sensitive and sweet, and also tries to connect to people, but at the same time, he's too scared. It takes his family to push him on the edge to actually talk to someone, especially looking for someone like a next girlfriend or wife because her wife left them. And you can see all this kind of ideas mixed with this main character B, because he's just sort of interested in very manly and trying to very experiment so many things that just kind of intrigues you, especially here rest of the family, like his oldest son Wolf, that he is completely opposite as his own father. He's actually born in the wilderness, but he's so outgoing, always trying new things, always trying to be over the top to kind of convince his wife to always be with him. He's always trying to earn your trust, always be happy. You think that would be sort of annoying, but no, one of the biggest fear is letting people down. That's what I mean. He's sort of multifaceted because he can do so much with them. You also have Wolf's wife, Honey, that she is basically the outside looking in, the one who's trying to understand how the Great North works, how to survive, how to get into the family and actually work, how her main position of the family, how you actually use that power, how to help people. Once more, she's the outsider, but you can understand her feelings, how to help the other family to make her feel part of it. Maybe I'm being too complicated, but once more, you can do so much with that character. You have the middle kids, or the twins, Ham and Judy, how completely different they are, but at the same time, a little bit the same, because both of them are sort of awkward, especially Judy. She's basically the outgoing twin, and also trying to be everything great, but at the same time, she's just pretending to be that great. She's sort of kind of judging herself, like she could do better. No, she can't. She's sort of, I reckon, a mess, especially she have to sort of imagine your friend to confine everything she flaws, problems she has to talk to her, but actually she's not real. She understands she's not real, but she actually needs to be real so she can actually get off her chest. The opposite to Ham, that he's just a chill guy. In fact, Ham, the best to describe Ham is basically is Kelso in cartoon form, but less pretty but gay. That he's just sort of kind of like a very pure boy who go into things but never actually realize the consequences. He's not a moron, he's just sort of gullible, he never thinks through. Not like her sister, she's the opposite of him, that she is completely kind of coordinated, but at the same time, when she coordinates, she still screws up. But at the same time, you see them very interesting dilemmas they have with each other, but at the same time, always supporting each other every time they have the chance. Well, question. Our final character is Moon. Moon is probably the most spiritual one, the most wisest one, but at the same time the most kind of awkward one of the whole group, because he has his moments to being great, but he also have his moments like, did I think you did kind of moments, and that's basically Moon. Moon yet that completely fully developed, but you understand what they're trying to do with this character. But other than that, the whole family just works dynamically. But of course, I understand they still need some kind of rewrites here and there just to make the flow comedy go faster with all of them, because the whole show relies on their comedic moments, the comedic awkwardness, the things they do together just to make it work. But in the end, I just enjoy them. I mean, I know they have some flaws, but I just fully in love with this show. Especially the infamous mother of the whole family. She is basically the kind of the black sheep of the family, the one who divorced their father and lived to do her own thing because she's sort of selfish. But the show just sort of make her serve like the lore. She is the demon of the family that you never see, but you just heard the myth, the legends of her. And that was sort of interesting because how the show sort of end up the final episode that she's kind of come. You see how kind of manipulated she was with the family. You see them sort of broken, panicking. Almost she still have them on her little pinky, whatever she wants to do. She can force them, but once more, she's not there. She's just sort of gone. And at the same time, they're just so scared what she would do if she comes back. But in the end, she's never will come back or interested wants to come back. At least from now. But once more, that's sort of fascinating that what the family fears of her. Once more, that's one of the reasons why I found this show sort of fascinating. There's so many things you can do with this, especially if the mother does come back, probably season 2, if the series gets season 2. But once more, I just enjoyed it. Of course, I had just that minor complaints. I wish they changed the animation. But other than that, I just enjoy it. I understand if it's not everyone else. In fact, let me ask this question for you. Do you enjoy the series? Do you hate it? Do you like it that box burgers, or you hate it or less than box burgers? Tell me down below. Let me know. I really got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.